Hello everyone, welcome back for more Let's Play The Adventures of Lolo 2. Here we are on floor 10, it is the final floor. And if it weren't for the Rocky, this would be a very easy stage. You can kind of see what you gotta do, but you gotta do it with Rocky running around. Most of the time, this stage does not give me trouble. Although this time, because I'm recording, I know it will. First things first, make sure he gets plenty out of the way so he can get up here and start the process of pinning in the Dawn Medusas. And unfortunately, he has decided to go camp over there, which means we have free clear reign to go over here all we want. He's not going to be leaving that section until we lure him out, so let's see if we can do that. Come on, buddy. Come on, Rocky. Get down here. That way. So I should have enough time to sprint through and do this. There we go. And now the only thing I've got to do is not stand in the middle while those ghouls shoot at me. And I'm out of here. Onto this floor, which it looks really freaking complicated, doesn't it? This thing actually looks really goddamn complicated. It's not. It mostly involves using the snakies and blocking them in, and then getting rid of the snakies and then putting a block over them so they respawn in front of something inconvenient for us. That's how we're gonna start. You put you in the water, grab this, and then screw up. Because I actually nudged that frame that I needed to block the snaky. I mean, and one thing it's good I know, I wasn't exactly in that big of a hurry. Also, I've learned that if you roll a block over the tile as they're warping in, it will just outright kill them. As in, they will never respawn. Do with that information what you will. Now we can completely block that view to the right there. So we can now take this particular block. We can use it to block that one right there. Because these three goals are going to be a kind of a problem, but not a huge problem. Except for maybe the third one, so we will block the third one. We can't block any others, sadly. I wish we could, but we cannot. Also, we're saving that top heart container for last, just because of the goals. Now we need to push that way. Push that way. And you get shot out. And recovered with a block. And you will spawn up there in the upper right in front of the Medusa up there. So now that we've done all that, we'll grab last heart container. And now we are going to start moving right. We're going to shoot the snake, push it in the water, and hopefully not get hit by a fireball on the way. And this will take us right to the gym and the staircase. Because this is the castle, we do not have to make it up to the middle of the top, or we don't have to make it to a door, we just have to find the stairs that usually spawn in our general direction. Now, get ready for timing the game here, as we have 3 Dawn Medusas. The top and bottom ones will scurry left to right, and the middle one, or the one on the lower the upper one that's sitting on the right wall, or the lower one that's sitting on the right wall, will move up and down. So we will have 3 Dawn Medusas to keep an eye on. And you see that they all have varying areas where they are not blocked off from actually hitting you. Yeah, this comes into play fairly quickly, like almost right away. See, we're safe here. We're safe out to about here because, you know, we can stick our nose out. We gotta make it over there between the below that emerald block and above the skull. For that, we need to wait till these two sync up just enough to allow us to come over here and go back down. And then we need to make it over to the left and down to those, the trio of emerald blocks there. Also, keeping an eye on the... That was it, right there. And also, this row right here is not safe from the one on the right. I will just say that. Caught me by surprise a couple times, it did. I was not happy about this. So now we'll do this. We will grab these two. The last heart frame is taboo for the moment because, well, he will shoot us as soon as we take it right now. We'll move this up here to block that skull in. This is important. That is one of the main 2 problems we will have going in last. We'll move you out here. And then keeping in mind, we can still stick our nose out a little bit. We want to make it right above the skull with our 2 shots. Without landing in the spot that's going to get us killed. And now... we pin him in. We walk back around. And now we're going to work on pinning the one on the right, moving up and down in. Just like that. And grab this. Now we just have to be careful of the one strip there. That if we landed in it at exactly the wrong time, it would kill us because, well, Dawn Medusa is just like that. Block you. We are close to pinning in Dawn Medusa. That doesn't mean we're home free yet. Then we want to take this tile and go in and block the top of these guys. Perfect. Now, we are almost done here. We need to sneak around here, pin you up that way, pin underneath you, and now we are in excellent shape. What we need to do now, the last emerald block is sitting right there, and we need that to A, block the Medusa and that skull. Well, A is block the Medusa, B is block the skull, and do both at the same time. To do that, take this, we're going to push it all the way up. We're going to come back out here, we're going to zigzag around. We're going to use a little arrow power up. Right here. Push it against the snake. Down. Tap it just a half step. And now the game slows to a freaking crawl because everything lights up at once here. This is not a game effect of just you moving slower. Everything in this board would be moving just as much slower as you are. But, yeah. We kinda had to walk all the way around, so if we didn't block up the skulls, they would catch us. Especially since they don't really adhere to the arrow rules like we have to. But there we go. That's that stage done. That's number 3. Number 4 is actually a whole lot easier than it looks. But there is a trick here. You see 4 emerald tiles, so you think, oh, I'm just going to move them all to block all 4 sides of Medusa. You don't have to mess with the right. And indeed, the far right block is kind of useless. We only have to do the top, bottom, and left. So we're going to start like this. But we will need all 3 of these other frames to block the top, bottom, and left. Block you here. And move up. And to grab that one powers up, leave this little arrow power up. Which we're going to use right here. And now we can actually push that to the left to block the bottom side of Medusa. And now, we want to walk all the way to the wall. We do not want to jump in there yet. So we can get this one down. And move it into position. So it is now no longer in the way of what we're going to have to do with these other two, with the 2 blocks here. We're going to have to do what we're doing now twice, basically. Once to block the right. Or once to block the left, I mean. And then we move you all the way around. Be very careful not to push it too far up. That would not be conducive to our health. And we can just walk underneath the Medusa, grab the pearl, and go to what I call Hell Room, the real Hell Room, because there is a sequence at the end of this that, as far as I know, you have to pull this off a very specific way. And it has to be done in a very quick time frame. And that's after you've already done something else in a relatively quick time frame. And if you screw any part of it up, you might as well just go start over. Because you're going to have to, because you can't block the lower Medusa if you screw up any part of this. Okay? Step 1, we've got a leaper up there. We're going to get the leaper out, we're going to shoot it, turn it into an egg, where we can actually move that egg to block the lower Medusa so we can cross over. We're going to let it hatch. Then we're going to shoot it again once it's on the right side. We're going to turn it, shoot it to turn it into an egg when it's on the right side, push it against the lower wall, and then press up against it so it falls asleep when it hatches. And that will block that Medusa off from hitting us when we go for the treasure chest. That's step 1 of this room. And you might think, oh, that seems tough enough. The rest of this can't be worse, can it? Well, just wait. This start. Okay. Part A of step 1 here is done. And part B. Let it fall asleep right there. We are in good shape so far. Now part B, definitely a little bit trickier. And not just because Dawn Medusa up there. Dawn Medusa is only part of the problem here. So, what we have to do in fairly rapid succession, we have to shoot the snake. We have to push the snake up against the wall as an egg when Dawn Medusa is on the right side of it to go grab that heart. We have to run back. We have to shoot the snakey away before it hatches and quickly get underneath the left block. And hopefully you do this in a fluid enough motion that you get underneath that block just in the nick of time to push it up and block Dawn Medusa in that little square right there. Then you get to run over and you have to do all this before Snakey reappears. get the emerald block that's sitting immediately to the right of you here, on top of the spot Snaky's sitting on, so it respawns on the, it respawns underneath the Medusa sitting right below us. We have to do all this in one shot. We do not have enough ammo to shoot Snaky again. It would be nice, but we do not. So let's see if I can do this. I've done this like 3 times in a row, and I don't know how, but I did. This be all done quickly. Nope, did not get it. Did not get it. I was too slow getting over there and pinning him in. And then I pushed it up so I couldn't pin him in. Oh well. This is the last puzzle room, by the way. So it is going to be the most annoying. It doesn't matter where I put this egg, as long as it falls asleep somewhere between the Medusa and the chest. Grab that. So ready to try this again? I'm not, but we're going to anyway. Ah! Too fast. It's that last puzzle room, so it's going to be as annoying as this. There are a lot of ways to screw up this first part, too. Shooting that while it's too close to Medusa, that's one way to screw it up. And there we go with that. Not dawdle. There we go. Perfect. And now the only thing we have left to do is to pin that Medusa in to the left and right. And we are done. Okay. I suppose there's another way to do it if you really, really wanted to, but it would be much more difficult, I think. Which would involve making the leaper sleep somewhere else, and then using the first shot from the snake to hurry and push the snaky down there. But yeah, it seems like that'd be much more trouble than it's worth. So now meet King Egger. He cannot reach you as long as you are on the side. So I can sit here and talk about him. He does this. This is all he will do. He will not touch the sides of the room, ever. He cannot put fire down there. So just walk right over here and start shooting him because you have infinite ammo. Takes about 20 shots. Not that shooting him from the front was going to be any greater deed or anything like that. But that is Adventures of Lolo 2. That last room, even though you know what to do, is still a reflex test and a half. Lolo gets his kiss from Lala, and they escape on the magical airship. It doesn't look like it has any means of anti-gravity, but what do I know? And the pairs look out over the world with the tower off in the background. We get a sunset. Apparently they just want to stay on that one little spot for an entire day. And it becomes night. Star streaks across the sky as the end appears. And that is the end of Adventures of Lolo 2. So yeah, all in all, I think it's an improvement over the last game. Even though they didn't really change much. But it did give them more opportunity to come up with a few new gimmicks. Using the same mechanics. Mostly, something you didn't really get to see a whole lot of was the thing I had to do right at the end and cover a respawn point with a block to force an enemy to spawn somewhere else. And yeah, if you do manage to push a block over it while it respawns, you get a funky little crunching sound, and then that enemy never comes back. Like, ever. Enemy is gone. For freaking good. Which, if I'd have known that much earlier, I could have had some fun with that. But I didn't. Because it never came up. Anyway. Yeah. That will be all for this. I'm sure that after this, I hopefully will get to Lolo 3. Where they actually do change things up. I don't think they give you new enemies. But they do change a couple of mechanics. We'll see when we get there. If you are familiar with Lolo 3, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you are not, just wait. You'll see when we get there. They actually do change things up just a little bit. Just enough. But we will talk about that when we get there. Anyway. I hope everybody enjoyed. I want to thank everyone for sticking through this with me. And as always, until next time, take care, everybody.